If Cardinal Tagle became Pope, the Catholic Church would experience significant changes. His leadership would bring a new era of humility, compassion, and justice, making the Church more connected to people worldwide. Here are 10 major changes that could happen if Cardinal Tagle became the Pope. First, his papacy would introduce a new level of humility and accessibility. Cardinal Tagle is known for living simply and avoiding the grandeur often associated with high-ranking clergy. If he became Pope, he would likely focus more on personal interactions rather than formal ceremonies. He might visit street children, hold Mass in poor communities, and spend time with refugees and the sick. His approach would make the Vatican feel more welcoming and open, encouraging a stronger connection between the Pope and ordinary people. Second, the Church would strengthen its mission to help the poor. Cardinal Tagle has always emphasized that poverty is not just a social issue, but a moral and spiritual one. As Pope, he would likely work on global initiatives to fight poverty at its roots. This could involve forming partnerships with organizations that promote fair wages and social justice. His personal experiences growing up in the Philippines would give him a deep understanding of the struggles faced by the less fortunate, and he would use his position to push for economic reforms that prioritize human dignity over profit. Third, his leadership would shift the Catholic Church's focus toward Asia and the global South. The Church's growth is now stronger in these regions rather than in Europe, and having an Asian Pope would give more representation to these areas. He would likely emphasize the unique challenges faced by Catholics in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, such as religious persecution and economic instability. His leadership would encourage a stronger church presence in these areas, ensuring that their voices are heard on the global stage. Fourth, Cardinal Tagle could serve as a bridge between tradition and progress. He respects church traditions but is also open to discussions about modernization. As Pope, he might encourage conversations about the role of women in leadership, LGBTQ+ inclusion, and priestly celibacy. While major doctrinal changes might not happen immediately, his willingness to engage in dialogue could make the Church more inclusive. This approach would allow the Church to maintain its core teachings while also addressing modern societal concerns. Fifth, environmental stewardship would become a stronger priority. Coming from the Philippines, a country highly affected by climate change, Cardinal Tagle understands the importance of protecting the environment. As Pope, he could push for stronger environmental policies within the Church. He might encourage parishes to use renewable energy, reduce waste, and support conservation projects. His papacy could also challenge world leaders to take environmental issues seriously, framing climate action as a moral duty rather than just a political debate. Sixth, Cardinal Tagle would engage the youth in new ways. Many young people today feel disconnected from religion, but his relatable and warm personality could change that. He is already known for his ability to connect with younger generations. As Pope, he might use social media to interact directly with young people, answering their questions and discussing important social issues. He could also encourage young Catholics to take on leadership roles within the Church, making them feel more involved and valued. Seventh, his leadership could help heal divisions in the world. The world today is deeply divided by political, social, and religious conflicts. Cardinal Tagle's focus on dialogue and compassion could position the Church as a mediator in global disputes. His ability to connect with different religious and cultural groups could lead to greater unity among faith communities. He could also use his influence to encourage peaceful resolutions to international conflicts, making the Vatican a stronger voice for diplomacy and reconciliation. Eighth, women could have a greater role in church leadership. While the ordination of women remains a complex issue within Catholic doctrine, Cardinal Tagle has always acknowledged the vital contributions of women in the Church. As Pope, he could take steps to increase female representation in high-ranking Vatican positions. He might also advocate for recognizing the work of women in theology, pastoral care, and missionary efforts. This could help create a more balanced and inclusive church leadership. Ninth, the concept of synodality could become a permanent feature of church governance. Synodality means that decisions are made collectively, rather than by a few individuals at the top. Cardinal Tagle has always promoted this model, encouraging open discussions between bishops, priests, and lay people. As Pope, he might institutionalize this approach, ensuring that the Church listens to the diverse perspectives of its followers. He could also organize global meetings to address major issues like climate change, migration, and economic inequality, giving more people a voice in Church decision-making. Finally, Cardinal Tagle's papacy would be marked by joy and hope. His warm and cheerful nature has touched many lives, and he would bring that same energy to the papal office. His leadership would remind the world of the power of faith, love, and compassion. Whether he is addressing global crises, comforting those in pain, or celebrating moments of happiness, he would lead with a sense of optimism that inspires people worldwide. His presence alone could bring a renewed sense of purpose to the Church, making it a beacon of hope in difficult times. In conclusion, if Cardinal Tagle became Pope, the Catholic Church could undergo a profound transformation. His leadership would focus on humility, justice, and inclusion. He would strengthen the Church's commitment to helping the poor, protect the environment, and engage with young people in new ways. His ability to balance tradition with progress could help bridge divides and bring more people closer to their faith. More than anything, his papacy would be defined by a spirit of joy and compassion, inspiring millions to believe in a better and more just world.